first knock came at 2 a.m., not from the trees, not from the scrub moving in the wind, from somewhere below us. We'd been planning the Tarkine trip for 2 years. Me, Damo and Jake. West Coast Tasmania, proper remote. The kind of country that doesn't care you're there. Limestone karst, mossy rainforest, rivers the colour of black tea flowing from the button grass plains. No tracks marked on the map for the last section of the hike. No phone signal. No one knowing exactly where you are. That was the point, honestly. We flew into Hobart and drove 4 hours northwest, left the car at a trailhead that didn't even have a sign. 3 days in, 3 days out, everything on our backs. By the end of day 1, the rain had fully set in, and it didn't stop. Not heavy, just constant. That fine, cold Tasmanian mist that gets into everything. Your sleeping bag, your boots, the back of your neck. The kind of cold that's patient, like it's waiting for you to make a mistake. The sinkhole was maybe 6 hours in. We nearly walked into it. Jake was leading, head down into the wind, and he just stopped, didn't say anything. Me and Damo came up behind him, and we all stood there looking at it. Big, maybe 8 meters across. The edges just dropped away. Limestone rim, cracked and mossy. And below that, well, we couldn't make anything out at the bottom. It was just dark. Damo picked up a rock and dropped it in. We waited. We never heard it land. The 3 of us looked at each other and didn't say a word. We walked around it, gave it a wide berth and kept moving. I don't know why, but I looked back at it twice. Both times it felt like looking at something that was looking back. We camped 2 kilometers further on, set up the tents in the mud under a stand of paper barks. Everything was soaked. The gas stove took 4 attempts to light. We cooked a feed, talked about nothing much, and turned in early. I woke up at maybe midnight. I couldn't tell you why. Just that feeling. The one you get when something's changed in the room while you were asleep. I lay there listening. Rain drizzling down. The creek was maybe 50 meters off. Wind moving through the scrub. And then, underneath all of it, I could swear I could hear something else. I almost couldn't call it a voice. More like the shape of one. The rhythm of words without the words themselves. Rising and falling. Coming from somewhere low. Were one of the boys mumbling in their sleep? Nah, that's not it, it sounds. It sounds like it's coming from somewhere underneath. I told myself it was the creek. Water moving through caves under the limestone. That's a real thing. Sound does strange things in karst country. I told myself that and went back to sleep. In the morning I mentioned it to Jake. He looked at me for a second, then nodded slowly. Yeah, I heard it too, he said. Didn't want to say anything. Damo hadn't heard it, or said he hadn't. On day 2 we got turned around in the low cloud. Visibility was maybe 20 meters. The compass was working, but the terrain didn't match what we expected, and we burned 2 hours going in circles through the scrub. Wet, cold, nobody talking much. That's when I saw it the first time. Movement between the trees. Off to the left, maybe 30 meters. It wasn't an animal. I've spent enough time in the bush to know animal movement. Animals move with a purpose. They're going somewhere or they're freezing. This was neither. It was slow, it was upright, and the shape of it wasn't right. I stopped walking, stared. Whatever it was gone. I didn't say anything. An hour later, Damo grabbed my arm. Did you see that? He was pointing to the right, into the scrub. There was nothing there now. Yeah, I said. I saw it. Jake up ahead had already stopped walking. He was looking off into the trees too. None of us said what it was. We made camp early, got a fire going, and talked loudly about nothing until dark. The second night, the knocking started around 2 a.m. Rhythmic, Slow. 3 knocks, a pause. 3 knocks, a pause. Coming from the ground. It wasn't rockfall, not a branch, not settling earth. This was deliberate. This had a pattern. Damo sat up and I could hear him breathing from the other tent. Jake unzipped his sleeping bag. Nobody spoke. It went on for maybe 10 minutes. Then it stopped. And then, from the direction of the sinkhole, 2 kilometers back the way we'd come, that voice again, murmuring, closer this time, still not words, but shaped like a question, if that makes sense. Then something moved at the edge of camp. We heard it in the leaf litter, slow steps, circling us, not coming in, just circling. I had my torch on, but every time I pointed it toward the sound, there was nothing. Just the scrub, just the dark between the trees. It circled for a long time. We stayed quiet. Not one of us slept that night. We packed at first light without saying much. Wet gear, wet boots, everything heavier than it should have been. We decided to get out of there, moving fast. An hour from the trailhead, I stopped and looked back. There was something standing at the edge of the scrub behind us. Just standing. Still. Watching. I watched it for maybe 5 seconds, then turned around and kept walking. I didn't tell Damo and Jake until we were at the car. Heaters running, doors locked. Jake just nodded. "I know," he said. "I saw it too." We drove back to Hobart and didn't talk about it much. We still don't really. There's more that happened, but I'm still working out how much of it I want to say out loud. Maybe next time